So, all right, we will continue with the other visuals. As of the last session, I have covered the matrix visual. And what is the difference between matrix and table? They can ask you in the interview, okay? And also it is good if you know this, and you know very well, the table is kind of, one second, two-dimensional. Table is kind of a two-dimensional. And whereas in the case of matrix, it supports multi-dimensional data. In the case of table, the rows are not fixed, but the columns are fixed here. So look here, if I select this one, you can see the field only, in the field section, you can see only columns. You don't see any rows here. Whereas in the case of matrix, when you select this matrix, you can see in the field section, you can see the rows and columns, and values. Okay. And in the case of matrix, both rows and columns are not fixed, whereas here the column is fixed in the case of table visual. And a table is a flat data structure. It displays all data, whereas in the case of matrix, it automatically aggregates the value in your matrix. Okay. And so that is the key difference between the table and matrix. And yeah, yesterday the last session, right? I somehow forgot. It's not forgot. In the previous version, we have an option called show on rows. So, for example, here the sales and profit, it is displayed in columns. If you see for each segment, consumer segment, sales and profit is available. So this is a blank value. So consumer segment, sales profit, and corporate segment, sales profit, home office, sales profit, and you have total. Instead of displaying the sales profit here as a column, if I can display the sales and profit in rows, it can save a lot of space. So for that, we need to use this option. If you go to the format here, and here's something called values. In the new version, you can find it here, okay? And then options. Just remember that in the values property, and if you scroll down, if you expand the values property, and if you scroll down, you will find options. Switch values to row groups rather than columns. If you toggle this on, look here, the sales and profit. Earlier it was, look here, I just toggle this off. I can see that. So earlier it was columns, the sales and profit. When I toggle this on, it will become rows. Okay. So hence it will save a lot of space here. Look here, you don't have to scroll too much. Okay. That is the advantage of this one. And also, as usual, you can increase or decrease the font size. So it is already very small. You can increase the font size by going here. Probably I will just change it quickly. Row headers. In the row headers, I just increase it a little bit. Yeah, it looks good right now. Now it's fine. Okay. And you don't have this one. Fine. We have also discussed about the background color formatting, and based on some rules, how to define rules, all the things. Okay, and the next one is the pie chart and Doughnut chart. So pie and Doughnut chart, I guess most of you are already familiar with this, but whether you are familiar with Doughnut chart or not, I believe most of you must have used pie charts even in the college time. Even college students would have used it. So now the question is, what is pie chart and what is Doughnut chart? Both of them are same, only differences in the Doughnut chart. In the middle, you can see the circle here. Okay, so that the label can be, plotted here. You can specify the label inside this circle. Okay, because here we have empty space, you can use this space effectively here. So otherwise, both of them serves the same purpose. It is both of them, both pie chart as well as the Doughnut chart, showcase the part to whole relationship. Okay, they show proportion of categories that make up the whole. So here, this is your wage, and this is your another wage. This is your another wage. So in that kind of situation, just by looking at this part to whole relationship, right? This is this, for example, in the case of market share, if a company wants to compare its market share with its competitor, so in that kind of situation, they can go for pie chart. So in that case, if you see here, right, they can quickly make out. So our market share is more compared to our competitors. So this pie charts are, it is a circular visualization. It displays the values of different categories of total. Here, every piece or wedge, so I'm talking about this is one, the piece or wedge of the circle represents the category. So you can visualize all the information at a glance using both the pie charts as well as the Doughnut chart. And see, this is, as I said, it is very much similar to pie chart, except the fact that, you know, in the center, it has a blank value in it. It allows the space for the label, or you can put some icon also here. And also remember this, the sum of the Doughnut chart values must add up to 100%. The same rule is applicable here. The sum of the, the pie chart and Doughnut chart values should add up to 100%. And too many categories, if you have it, in the case of pie and Doughnut chart, difficult to read and interpret. And right, so that is one flip side of using the pie and Doughnut chart. It is best used to compare a particular section to the whole. So for that purpose, we use it. So to make comparison between groups rather than from each group to the whole, then you can, between groups, if you want to compare the categories side by side, then you can go for this one, not this one, okay, the pie chart. And the tip here is the colors, right? So you can use colors, something like this kind of colors, okay? The combination of these colors. Don't use very dark, very light colors. It will be too striking. Okay, and too many skinny slices are hard to read, especially if you have a lot of categories are there. In that kind of situation, don't go for this. You can better go for other like we have Treemap. We can go for Treemap kind of thing. Okay. So when not to use pie or Doughnut chart to make comparison between groups, rather than from each group to the tool, right, to the whole. In that kind of situation, don't go for pie chart. Better you can go for, if you want to compare the groups, one group with other group, or one category with another category, then you can go for column chart or so. And other situation, like if you have so many categories are there, so in that kind of situation, better don't use pie chart. It will be too skinny, especially the volume or the value is very small, and if the number of categories are more, for specific wedges, if the values are very small, it will be so skinny, very difficult to interpret that. Okay. The next visual is the tree map. Tree map is used to show the composition of a whole when there are many components. That is the advantage of the tree map. And see, what are the advantages of tree map? So one of the best, it is one of the best charts to show parts to whole. Okay, and then it is better than pie charts. Okay, and you can use 2 dimensions and 1 measure, and also you can use 1 dimension 2 measures. That is also another advantage of tree maps. And always the tree map, right? The values are sorted in descending order. Remember this, with the highest value on the top, smallest values on the right bottom. So what I do is I just directly jump into the Power BI desktop, and then we will take a look at the pie. And so for whatever we discussed, we'll take a look at it. Look here, I just click on this one to expand this one. Here, just beneath the visualization, you can find the pie chart, and I just select the Doughnut chart as well. In both the cases, what I will do is, in the interest of time, I just use this one. And for example, you have something like regions. If I use region, and if I use sales, So many regions are there, difficult to interpret. So this one, right, it's so skinny. And if you want to enable the bars and all right, legend, you can use a legend here. Each color represents specific regions. And here, if you don't want this one to be displayed here, you can the data labels off, we can give it. And then here, yeah, yeah, you can give on. And here what I do is instead of data value, we can use percent of total, something like that. Okay, how much percentage each slice or weight, to compare to the whole, right? How much each slice has the percentage in it, contribution or something like that. Okay, and I just copy paste this one. Here I just go to the visualization and sorry. Here I just click on the donut chart. That's it. Like I have shown you, right? You can create the borders for each visual, and also you can, specify the title of each chart, and you can increase the font size, and you can do all the things whatever we discussed. Okay, so hope you understood the difference between pi and donut. Both of them are same, nothing much difference. Both these charts are used to compare the part to the whole. Okay, that kind of situation will be using it. And but especially when you have too many categories like this, right, it will be difficult to interpret, especially those values are very, very small, difficult to interpret. So in that kind of situation, you can go for the tree map. You want to display a large amount of hierarchical data. In that kind of situation, you can go for that. So, and also when a bar chart can't effectively handle the large number of values, in that kind of situation also you can go. And importantly, to understand the proportion between each part and the whole, in that kind of situation, the tree map is the best friend for us. We can use the tree map. So what I will do is, in this case, I will just select the category. We'll take the simple one. And the sales here. Very simple one. Okay, so what you see is the category wise sales. However, I need one more layer. Supposing you want one more layer, let's say in this case, you want to use the region. When I drag and drop this here, region, you can see that. You can see the nested rectangle, right? So in this technology, rectangle, we can see the nested regions here, right? So all these regions within this technology, what is their contribution when it comes to sales. Similarly, in furniture category, what is the sales contribution by each region? And the same thing is applicable here also. But here, the size of the rectangle is determined by the value of each region, right? It depends on the magnitude of the region's value, region sales. Okay, it is directly proportional to the sales value. The region size, the size of the rectangle for the each region is directly proportional to the sales value. So now to understand this better, what I do is I'll just connect this one with, let me do one thing. I will connect this one with, this is your category, here furniture, and this is your office supplies. And the next one is under each category, you have the regions, right? Under each category, you have details as regions, and finally the sales value. And here the region, right? This is the one, the region is this one. As I mentioned a while back, the values are always sorted in descending order, with the highest values on the left top and the smallest value on the left bottom. so that it makes us it makes it easy to read this one. Okay. And the other difference here, if you see here, the Canada is very, very small. Even if I resize it, still you can make out, right? Even if you resize it, you can make out. Even if if you make it very small, still you can make out. So this is where Canada and Caribbean, and even if you make it small here, and this is the last one is your Canada. Okay. But in the case of pie chart, if you make it small, very, it will become very skinny, difficult to interpret that one. Okay. But still you can hover the cursor and you can find out. But here, even if you resize it, it will be still visible. Okay. And it is with the rectangle, you can find out. So there is another region is there. Okay, you can make out easily. And you can go to the format bar and you can do all kind of formatting. Okay. And title, everything you can do it. The only thing is here, let me just select this one. First of all, you need to select the visual. If you want, you can use the legend. Okay. And the other one is the colors, you can change it, and the data labels importantly. Okay. You want to display the data labels along with each region, you can use this one. And here the data labels values, you can increase the font size also. And here the display units, auto, you wanted to display it in thousands, millions or billions, you can change it accordingly. So by default it is thousands. If you want to make it millions, it will consume less space, and also it will be good. But if you think the displaying the region along with these values, it makes your visual cluttered, then you can go for legend. You can enable legend. Okay. And here the data labels, category labels, you can toggle this off. And then where is that thing, legends? And the legend, you can go and change the place here, and you can make the font size a little bit bigger so that you can easily make out. The what is the disadvantages this one? The one of the disadvantages, the repetitive labels. The labels are repetitive, so, but you can disable it here. So the legend, right? You can, by using the legend, you can keep only one thing here instead of displaying the labels, the category labels along with this, right? So along with this, you can keep it here. That is one of the disadvantages. Otherwise, it is good compared to the pie chart and donut chart. The rectangle is better. Okay, to understand. Look here, and even if you make it a little bit smaller here, still you can make out. Look here, even if I make it right, so this much, still this one helps us to understand, something is there here. So to conclude, the tree maps display the hierarchical data as a set of nested rectangles. It is used to display the data in rectangle boxes. Okay. We can define the rectangle box using any dimension column and its size by the measure value. So here the measure is sales, and in this case the dimensions are category and region. Okay, this is the the rectangle, and if you to nest the category thing, we have used the region column here, right? So with that, we are able to create a nested rectangles. Next one is ribbon chart. Okay, now let's take a look at how we can create a ribbon chart in Power BI. The ribbon charts shows us the change in the rank with the highest range. Okay, with the highest range, and also it shows the change in rank as well as the change in sales, and it gives us the rank also. Okay, for based on the time period. In the case of ribbon chart, I'll just show you here. Right beneath this visualization pane, you can see the ribbon chart here. You just click on it once. The ribbon chart, now the visualization got created. Now it's an empty chart. With this empty chart, right, we get an idea about how the ribbon chart looks like, layout looks like. With the ribbon chart, as I said, you can see the rank and changes in sales, sales changes, difference between categories. It always show the larger value in each column at the top. Okay. And instead of talking, I just show you this one. For example, here, I just go ahead and drop the year column here. And here, I just show the sales. Okay, here in the x-axis, the year. Sometimes when you drag and drop it directly, you will land up something like this. What you do is, in that kind of situation, you simply move this up here. You need to check this is your field section. Okay, for each visual, this is a field section. And you can see it here. You can directly drag and drop it here. But the best practice is you can drag and drop it here. Okay, so x-axis value, you put it here, y-axis values, you put it here. Usually the x-axis is the text data type, okay, or it's a categorical variable. So in this case, the year is a categorical column. It is holding the year is a categorical, right? So, and sales is the value. So with this, we can understand very quickly compared to all the years, right? So 2011 that is when we started the company, and the sales is growing up. Okay, and the sales is keep going up. So we can see an upward trend here, but we have chosen the ribbon chart, but it shows only the simple the column chart now. Okay, and now what I do is to convert this as a ribbon chart. Here we have legend here. I just put the region or something like that here. I just drag and drop the region in the legend. Look here, now it got converted as a ribbon chart. So here on the top, as I said, right, so on the top, you can see the highest sales. Okay, and second highest sales, if you want to see that, you can see it here. So this is how it creates the chart. The ribbon chart is getting created. So the top sales will be always on top of other categories. So this is what we are seeing it. And here the legend helps us to understand which line belongs to which region. I just increase the font size because it's difficult to see that. Okay, let me just do one thing and this legend. Yeah, here I need to. Sometimes the font will not be available when you type it, as a common thing. Here, if you see here, this is the one is Caribbean, right? So this is the one, I think, this is test. Test is north, northeast or something like that. Okay, northeast, and that is the one. And you can see that 2011, what is the sales here in region? Test is nothing but northeast. Okay, and if you see here, this one 5,31,000. So in 2012, we can see that there is a jump in revenue or sales in this region. Okay, You can consistently see that there is a increase in this one. And if you hover the cursor in between these two, right, between these two, the dark color, light colored one, right? So the light colored one, if you hover the cursor here, it will help you to understand what is the total sales in 2011 and what is the total sales in 2012. What is the change in sales? There is a 14% increase in sales compared to 2011 in the case of Northeast region, which is test in this case. And hence it is rank 1. It is ranked as 1. And similarly, see now you can see the percentage of change in sales, as well as you can see the rank also. Okay. And it shows the rank by categories or region. In this case, the categorical column is the region, right? Across region, across different years, what is the change in sales, and the rank also it shows us. And the interesting part here is, if you see here, this one goes down here. If you keep the cursor here, North Asia was 4, and in 2012 the rank the rank fell down to 8 here because the sales was going down here. And if you see here, this one is interesting one, the 41% increase in sales, and it got it got ranked as 2 here. And if you see here, it is consistently ranked 2. And this one, yeah, this is the one. So the Oceania, earlier it was 4. It was here, it was 5 initially, right? So 2011, it was ranked as 5, and now it got ranked as it got ranked as 3. Okay. We can see the change in the sales as well as the change in rank. Okay, that is what we can see here. In this case, the rank went up by 1 number. Okay, in some cases the rank went down by 4. In this case, this is very bad. The rank always count from top to bottom. Okay, top to bottom. Okay, and that is what you need to remember it. That is pretty much about it. So, and the next thing is formatting. Formatting is same as other thing. Here you can give different colors to each ribbon. Nothing much difference. And if you wanted to connect a transparency, right? You can just do this one. You can increase the transparency of this one by adjusting this. If you reduce it, everything will be same. And only thing is you can And then if you want a border, you can enable border here. You can for this border, okay, the border for this one, so that you can clearly make out. Okay, and the other options are like you have some option. You can leave the space between one ribbon to another ribbon, and colors, and you have an option here like spacing. Yeah, you can adjust it. Look here, one ribbon to another ribbon, you can leave a space by adjusting this one. Okay, by moving this slider forward or backward, you can adjust it. Or if you are okay with this one, you can leave it as it is. And the data labels, you can enable it. So usually we use this data labels, we enable the data labels. And then in this case, if you want, you can use spacing. So that is pretty much it when it comes to this one. Vertical, if you want a grid line, you can use grid line on. But here the grid line is not much visible. You can use dotted or something like that. Color, yeah, the color we can give something like black. Look here, you can see that now. You need to change the color here. The dotted lines, right? So this is for vertical. Usually we don't use this one and all, the vertical. Okay, and they've given a lot of options. You can use the zoom slider if you want to zoom it. If they were, you can enable the end users with this, right? They can zoom it. If they want to zoom it, they can zoom it. The zoom slider is available. That's all. You can explore other options here. The thing you can just play around with this, and then plot area background. So the area background of this, if you want to keep some other color, you can give it. The whole idea of this one is it helps us to understand or rank the categories, or in this case the regions across different years. You can go for this. Usually in the x-axis we use the time series data like a year, month, quarter, something like that, to see the trend kind of thing. Okay, and also what is the change in sales, and whether the rank has gone up or down for each region. You can find out here with this quickly. In addition to change in the sales or quantity or units, it gives us the rank also. That's all. That's the difference between this one and other charts. The next one is the funnel chart. Okay, this is actually funnel chart. Okay. So what is a funnel chart? So what you see on the right bottom is the funnel chart. This is the one is a funnel chart. The funnel chart shows the flow of stages. So this looks like an inverted pyramid, isn't it? The top section of the funnel chart displays the wider area, which often decreases as it moves down into the channel. So this helps us to visualize the linear process that has sequential connected stages. Okay, in that kind of situation, we can go further, especially the marketing guys, they use this term, right? The sales guys or marketing guys, they use this term. So if they want, let's say the marketing guys, right? If they want to explore how they can reach more potential clients to grow their revenue, right? So in that kind of situation, they use the funnel chart. With the funnel chart, they can understand, especially in the case of sales prospecting. So what is sales prospecting? Let's say you are generating leads through some third-party application, or let's say you are giving ad in the Google AdWords. You are giving an advertisement, display ad, or something like that. So those people, they see your ad, they call you initially, right? So when they call you because of the products and services which you have advertised in the banner, they are quite impressed with that. To know more about it, they'll call you. Okay. And so in that case, let's say in this case, 350 customers, they have shown interest in your products or services. And then what you do is you come up with strategies, right? So of these 350, how many of them are potential customers? All right, so how many of them are? In this case, let's assume that 160 out of 350 customers contacted us. Based on the discussion which we had, it seems that 160 customers are potential customers or potential leads. Okay. And then next, what we do is we come up with some strategies to target these customers by conducting some kind of webinars. And once the customer is happy with the webinars, and what we do is we will share some proposals or something that they need to fill up. Out of 120, only 90 people, they filled up the proposals. And those 90 filled up the proposals, out of 90, only 60 only, they got converted. So they subscribed for the plan or whatever it may be. Okay. So it started with 350. It is linearly, right? It is a linear sequential process. Started with the lead, and then, the shortlisting the potential customers, and then conducting the webinar. And each stage we could see a drop in the leads, right? So here the number of customers are dropping as we move further down. So it can help them to understand each stage, how many number of customers dropped, and how we can, how we can make sure that the drops in each stage to be reduced, right? To minimize that. So this one can help them, especially the marketing guys, and they use the funnel chart. So in the case of data is sequential, and if that is moves through at least 4 stages, okay, then we can go for funnel chart. So to calculate potential revenue or sales or deals by stages, in that kind of situation, you can go for this. And to calculate and track conversion retention rates, in that kind of situation, you can find out. The objective of this one is it helps us to reveal bottlenecks in a linear process. Okay, that is the whole idea of this one. Now what we will do is we will just go here and we'll take a look at how we can create a funnel chart. I just go here. This is my funnel chart. Okay, I just click on it. I don't remember the data file name. I kept one data file. It was a very small file, wherein I kept all the stages. Let me see if that is available. I think I kept it in this name, funnel. Yeah, the funnel chart data is available here. You can see the stages: inquiries, qualified leads, meeting held, proposal form filled, finalized. See, in the real-time scenario, what they do, right? They note down each and the Excel sheet. If you see the customer name, they would have noted down second customer, third customer, fourth customer, the contact number, everything will be. It's not like this is the consolidated one, aggregated one. What you are seeing here is the consolidated one. Okay, and the Excel sheet usually they have a large number of data in it. So this is just a consolidated data for us to understand and what exactly the funnel chart is all about. That's it. Look here. The 350 inquiries we got it, out of which they shortlisted 160 customers. And you can see the percent of first, percent of previous. The percent of first is 100%, obviously. And second one is out of 360, 160 customers got shortlisted. We identified them as a qualified leads, and hence 45, almost 46 percentage, got dropped here. And the meeting held out of 160, 120. So you can see there is a drop here. I know at last only 60%, 60 customers got converted here. So here the design, when it comes to the design part, the colors, right? So blue, purple, green are often used. BPG, blue, purple, green. You can go and change it here, okay? And you can change it here. And you can go from darker to, start with the darker to lighter shades. Okay, as the funnel goes further into the final stages, so it'll be like a darker kind of thing. Sorry, the lighter shades. Start with darker and a lighter thing. Okay, so that is the one. The best practices recommended as per the design. When it comes to design, especially the color to be used for this one is this one: blue, purple, green. So that is pretty much about the funnel chart.